This has pretty much been my breakfast for the last 20 plus years. It's oatmeal, a bunch of berries, and some spinach with a little bit of sugar to add taste. I'm going to add a couple clips in here just to make things different. If you guys don't like it, give me feedback, tell me. This exercise I use every day for mobility. I push the knees in as close as I can, the feet as close as I can, the arms are extended, and the back is fully rounded, and you're breathing in through your nose silently and exhaling only through your mouth. Long and strong exhale for about 10 breaths. And you try not to let your shoulders rise when you take another inhale. That opens up the back greatly, and it's helped increase my mobility, and it opens up the quads and the hip flexors on the front. So I suggest everyone try that sometime. Even you start with your feet out wide and you can't get into that deep of a squat, it's fine. Just start wherever you can, and you'll see even just after one set such a big difference. So today's day 8. Welcome everybody. Body weight was down to 199.6. And hanging knee raises today for the first exercise. So if you recall, I've done these with 10s and 13s per side and got my records on both of those. Today's bumps up to 15. And it's funny, when I bump up only that 2 pounds, it always seems to drop off a lot of reps. That being said, my record on these is 26, and I was definitely feeling stronger today. When I got through about halfway, I was just like, okay, this is definitely a good set. I got these to 28, and they were even cleaner than yesterday or the last time. And yeah, my abs were cramping a ton. Moving on to the iso hamstring bridge, I bumped up the weight again to 115 pounds. My best on these is 63 or 66 count. But yeah, as you can see, I only get to about 12 count. The left hamstring just started spasming, cramping like crazy, no strength left. When I get to the right side, that 12 feels strong, just match it. I don't know how long I could have gone, but there was a lot more in the tank. Then on to the Pendulum Sissy squats. Now, I want you guys to tell me on these top sets, I'm leaving the raw noise in the background, and I know that there's a lot of wind, but the reason why I leave them in is because I know people want to hear the exertion or the effort behind it. So if you guys want to give me your feedback, if it's too loud, if you just want me to mute it, leave it in, let me know. So if you guys will recall, yesterday I did the shorter lever on these with 50 pounds, and I got to 22. Now this longer lever is harder, feels worse. 50 pounds again on here. My best ever is 21. And last month when I was trying to rebuild these, when I started I could only do 1 rep, and I had got up to 18 before I re-aggravated my hip. So I had no idea what I was going to get on here. Now, something to mention, when I got to rep 7, like 12, 13 years ago, I tore my ACL playing basketball on the right side, ACL and the meniscus. And it always, if you can hear it's clicking and popping, which usually doesn't cause a lot of pain. The last training cycle I had, I think it was just because of my hips positioning, that it was hurting in the deep knee bends. And it's the reason why I started doing these quad isolation exercises, because usually I would only feel that if I have like hamstring tendonitis. So I never isolated or specifically trained my quads before, because my goal is just always to increase hip extension power for sprinting. But incidentally, because I thought the hamstrings were overworked, I added these in. But yeah, I pushed it all the way up to 22 reps, and that's an all-time PR. After that, moved on to the dips. Today I was shooting for, yesterday was 71 and a quarter. Today going for 82 and a half. First warm up body weight, and then 50 pounds here. So yesterday 71 for 5 reps. Today's goal is 82 for 4, and I'm just gonna let it play. Yeah, so as you can see, first miss of the training cycle. What's significant about this 82.5 is if I had gotten it, it's the same as I hit last month, and also 7 pounds off my best all time. I didn't want to take that there. I wanted to load it up and try again. I had actually torn everything down from my chin-ups, but I said, let me try one more time. Yeah, I don't know if that was wise, but I came back and got it, and man, that took everything out of me, but happy I did it. After that, onto the chin-ups. Now, today I didn't pull the warm-up rep super explosively. My upper body felt dead after the 2 sets of dips. I wasn't prepared for that, but yesterday was 35 for 12. Today, 45 for 11, which would be 2.5 pounds better in performance. Also, I hit a set of 11 with 38 a couple days ago. And my best from a month ago was 47.5 for 11, and that was a very ugly set. So I ended up getting the 11 today, and it wasn't super ugly. One thing I will say about these is I'm purposely not pulling explosively as I can to conserve energy to try to get more reps, which I feel is the reason why these aren't going to transfer very well to the heavier weights, but we'll have to see. So yesterday, after the jumps, my hips weren't hurting, but my left hip ended up shifting forward some, which is the mechanism that caused the injury. So I was super worried about that, but there was no pain, so we decided to move on to the box squats. Now, I want to show my technique here from the side. It's kind of hard to see because the weight's so light. This is an empty bar, the bands and chains. But what I'm trying to do, and basically the way that I'm built and how I have to squat, I'm not going to have my chest up, my head up, and be quad dominant, especially on the safety squat bar. So basically I'm letting my head and my upper back round and submit to the weight at the beginning, and keeping that rounded position, I'm driving backwards, almost like I'm trying to do a backflip off of it. The only person I've seen that train similar to this is Graham Hicks, but he completely rocks back, rocks way forward, and then throws the weight back. Mine's just, it's a little bit different than how he does it, but it's a similar idea. This is my low box, the 16-inch box, so I have to, my feet aren't super wide on this. And I just want you guys to see how twisted everything is, the difference of my legs, and then my back compensates for it. But my hips is like a 360-degree problem. It's like a Rubik's Cube. I'm working on it, but happy that I got through it. So I'll have to go into detail why I use this setup with the bands and chains, but what I will say is the bands, or the chains to be exact, in this setup are like 261 pounds at the top, if the chains were all off the ground, which they pretty much are. And then if this was a straight bar, these bands would be 150 pounds of tension at the top, but because it's attached a little bit lower, there's less than that. But for people that don't know what this feels like, basically it takes 140 pounds off the bar if I were to add straight weight to the bar. So what I'm capable of. Again, this bar weighs 63 pounds. I weighed it on my scale, but I'm just going to refer to this as if it was a 45-pound bar to make the numbers simple for everyone. So this is 65 pounds. At last month, I hit 70 pounds for 20, but I was like 5 pounds heavier. So this is a better lift. I hit 65 for 22 here. And my best from a month ago, or sorry, it was about 3 or 4 months ago that I hit it. Similar body weight, I was a few pounds heavier, is 165 for 20. So with the body weight calculated, that was about a 93-pound better lift. So if my body weight stays exactly the same, I got to put 93 pounds on this lift. Very hard, but it didn't feel terrible. There's about 450 pounds total up at the top. So hopefully this helps me start to get used to having some weight on my back. And thank you for everyone that watched. Talk to you guys tomorrow.